Welcome in to another episode of my Dynasty Fantasy Football YouTube. Today, at my 5 takeaway series covering 5 Dynasty topics from week 8. As always, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's go. So, the first one, Jonathan Taylor's the league winner, and the Colts offense is nuts. And this is going to be a little bit of an abbreviated video. I've been kind of out of the house today, and I haven't had opportunity to prepare statistically like I normally would. But basically, Jonathan Taylor was great, scored 2 touchdowns, 153 yards rushing. He was really good. Colts offense put up 38 on the Titans. And really the question is, what do you do with Jonathan Taylor at this point? And what you do is, if you're a contender, probably just hang on to Jonathan Taylor. If you are rebuilding, I would say look to move on from Jonathan Taylor, sell high. And because we know that running back value is fragile, like we're going to talk about with, unfortunately, the next topic. Next topic, Cam Skattebo. And this is brutal. Obviously, I don't know if you know, but I'm a Giants fan. And just seeing Jackson Dart, how he was feeling after Cam Skattebo had his ankle injury, which we know will be season ending. It was tough. It was tough to watch. Yeah, the whole thing was awful, really. And it is what it is. I don't know what you do. If you have Cam Skattebo, he's hurt. Hard to sell a hurt running back for anything. I'm not buying. I don't buy running backs with severe injuries. We've seen it takes way too long for them to come back. So I'm not buying. So there's nothing really to do with Cam Skattebo. I've heard a lot of discussion about Tyrone Tracy. What do you do with Tyrone Tracy? For me, some people are talking about buying Tyrone Tracy for a third. I'd be willing to do that. Tyrone Tracy's not a bad running back. But if you can get a second for Tyrone Tracy is not good. I don't believe in him, really, other than as a 1B or a backup. So I'd be looking to capitalize on Tyrone Tracy if there's some sort of selling window. Maybe there isn't, though. I didn't hear a lot of enthusiasm about selling Tyrone Tracy, to be honest. All right. Next up, Tucker Kraft dominated, and Christian Watson returned. Christian Watson actually had 85 yards in the Packers win over the Steelers. He was actually pretty good. He was involved as the clear wide receiver 3. Dobbs and Golden played the most snaps, although Golden did nothing. But Watson actually led them both in yards, had more catches than either one. So that's going to further muddy the wide receiver core when Dontavian Wicks returns. That's not going to help because Malik Heath and Savion Williams were seeing time to play. And then when Jaden Reed comes back. So that's something to look at. But Tucker Kraft absolutely dominated. 7, 143, and 2 on 9 targets. He was amazing. He was great. And I think we've seen that the games he wasn't as good at in this year were the ones where he was listed on the injury report. When he's been fully healthy, he's been the best receiver on the team. I think he should be the clear highest ranked, should be ranked higher than any Packers receiver. I think that's clear from Watson coming back that Golden is, maybe Golden is a buy low for super cheap. That could be something to consider because I've liked actually what I've seen from Golden on the field. But Tucker Kraft is the one for this team. He could be the 1A, there could be 1B, 1C, but, and I do think that's more what it's going to be like, but Tucker Kraft is him. I believe in him. Not that I haven't believed in him. I mean, I like Tucker Kraft. I was big on Tucker Kraft over Luke Musgrave after year 1, down the stretch. So I've always I liked Tucker Kraft, but even with Christian Watson coming back, Tucker Kraft was the guy. So I think we're seeing now that if there's going to be a passing offense, and I am worried about that because Jordan Love has had 2 games where he's thrown a lot and the other 5 where he's had less than 20 completions, and it's all gone through Josh Jacobs. So I am concerned, but if we're going to trust one player, it's going to be Tucker Kraft, and the wide receivers, I don't think there's a top 36 weekly play in here. I don't think you can trust any of them. Not right now. Not until something changes. Now, since this is an abbreviated video, I'm going to abbreviate the Patreon promo too. If you like my YouTube content, you should sign up for the Patreon. I'm offering a 50% discount off your first month at all tiers using code TylerYT50. For this video specifically in the Patreon, I'm probably going to elaborate in the Patreon Discord about some of these takes and what I thought to kind of give a supplement to the video since this is a shorter video. Again, patreon.com/fantasy advice. Use code TylerYT50 for 50% off your first month. You can get all my rankings, including weekly start sit, access to Discord where that will be, my write-ups. I do a write-up about every single game, Patreon-only videos, direct message fantasy advice, and the ability to ask in advance questions for the YouTube videos, which I will do at the end of this video. Tiers begin at just $6 a month, $3 with the discount. If you want to know more about the Patreon, check out my Why You Should Join the Patreon videos on the channel. They're on the homepage under Patreon promos. But once again, patreon.com/fantasy advice. Use code TylerYT50 at checkout for 50% off your first month. A lot of people have joined recently. I'm hoping to see more people join. And with that said, I'll move into my next take. So my next take is that James Cook crushed, but the Bills' offense is a wide receiver short. James Cook had 216 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was absolutely amazing. Wide receivers, Khalil Shakir did well, 688 and 1 on 7 targets. What I didn't like was everything else. We had a rotation of 3 tight ends now. Dalton Kincaid played the least snaps. Dawson Knox and Jackson Hawes also got involved. I didn't like that. Keon Coleman has failed as a wide receiver 1, a total failure. Keon Coleman should be an outside wide receiver 2 or whatever they want to use him as. But really, they have a wide receiver 2. They have that in Khalil Shakir. They do. Keon Coleman is a nice situational wide receiver 3. They have that. They have a nice receiving tight end in Dalton Kincaid and some blockers to mix in. Knox and Hawes. They have that. What they do not have is a wide receiver 1. They don't have that. They need at least a 1A to make Shakir a 1B. Now, I don't know if they can find a 1A in the middle of a season. Probably the best they can do is a 2A or a 2B to lighten the load on Coleman and help a little bit. Maybe Rashid Shaheed. I don't know. So they're probably going to have to settle for a stopgap, but they need a 1. They have a 2. They have a 3. They have tight ends. They don't have a 1. And Josh Allen had 163 passing yards. Like he hasn't been, he got there with 2 rushing touchdowns. Josh Allen is elite. Don't hear what I'm not saying. Josh Allen is elite. He's doing a great job. He's playing well. But the offense needs another receiver to kind of kickstart things. They won this game 40-9, but that was more because the Panthers were inept than that the Bills receiving offenses was good. And this has been an issue for multiple weeks. This is not just this week. The Bills game against the Falcons, you saw that the things went very wrong. So it wasn't just this week. Now, last one, RJ Harvey's 3 touchdowns. They're a trap. He scored 3 touchdowns. That's great. Now, you would say that would be great and would cause more opportunity if he had done really well and J.K. Dobbins was awful. J.K. Dobbins was better. J.K. Dobbins had 2 catches for 10 yards for RJ Harvey's 1 catch for 5 yards. The same 5.0 yards per reception, but Dobbins had 2 catches. Dobbins had twice as many carries, but more than twice as many yards. So Dobbins did everything better, except that Harvey scored 3 touchdowns. So Dobbins had more carries, more receptions, more yards per carry, more opportunity, and Tyler Bidet was still mixing in. So it's great that RJ Harvey scored 3 touchdowns. That's great for fantasy. That's really great if somehow you played him in Bipocalypse. But the roles have not changed. J.K. Dobbins was also great in this game. So I am not expecting J.K. Dobbins to now be benched after averaging 7.4 yards a carry and having 111 rushing yards. Now, everyone did well against the Cowboys. That's not surprising for the Broncos. I'm just saying, don't expect a change in usage. It would be different if, like what's going on with the Panthers, Chuba Hubbard was terrible and Rico Dowdle was great. Then maybe a change in usage is warranted. But there's no reason for a change. J.K. Dobbins was once again great. I'm not expecting a change to come up here very soon. And if someone thinks that there will be, and you can kind of sell high on RJ Harvey. I don't know if that exists. I would be looking to do that because I'm not projecting a change in workload moving forward. So now we'll move into the Patreon questions. There were a couple of anonymous reviews. I'll read them without giving the person's name, and they're also very long, so I didn't type them up. But people wanted me to read these, so I will. The first one, I had a middling team where I tried to rebuild quickly and failed. Then I started working with Tyler, who helped with trades, picks, and more to turn the team into an absolute juggernaut. Last season, we finished third with the most points for. This year, we're the favorite while still retaining plenty of future value. This team should compete for the foreseeable future with Tyler. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that I was able to help. The next review is even longer, so I definitely didn't type that up because that would be a lot of text. But I'll read this one as well. Tyler's Patreon Discord content offers fantastic resources, personalized one-on-one help in the DM tier. I do really appreciate that. And a discussion-based community full of people who are willing to share and hear thoughts and ideas. The resources, such as the ranking spreadsheet, are incredible for working the waivers, and you can get a real sense of value for each player that's much more accurate than sites like Keep Trade Cut, Fantasy Calc, Dynasty Daddy, etc. That's true. I do think those sites are not very accurate. There's also a great start-sit area in the Discord and the ranking spreadsheet that's proved extremely valuable to me on a week-to-week basis. I appreciate that. I'm glad that my start-sit content is helping. To continue, in both the DMs and Discord server, Tyler will be able to apply his general strategy philosophy to your team and or situation, and as well as answer your questions, and he's not afraid to give 100% honest advice, probably a little too honest. I think sometimes people think I'm a little mean, but I try to be honest, and sometimes it comes off the wrong way. Anyway, he's the only content creator I can ask about a trade or idea, get a response the same day, and fully trust he's giving the right advice for my situation. I joined this past offseason, and I went from a team without any 2025 draft picks to a team that's just as competitive as before, but has accumulated 5 first-round picks throughout the next 2 years, and my bench is stocked with Tyler-recommended stashes and pickups like Aranda Gadsden, Marks, Rico Dowdle, Jalen Knoll. For the price I pay for this content, the value is insane, and I recommend giving it a try if you've been on the fence. Again, I really appreciate all of that. It sounds like exactly what I'm trying to do. So thank you for taking the time to write all of that for me. And yeah, I really appreciate that. Now, I'll move into the actual questions, of which I have a few. I'm new to your videos, but I understand your point about buying running backs in season being really difficult. I saw your answer to a trade question on the Discord where you say not to buy Breece Hall for projected late 26 first. That surprised me. And then there's more, which I didn't type out. The team needs a running back. If he thinks he should win with one, shouldn't he get one? Isn't also a good value play. Oh, well, it's most certainly not a good value play. Breece Hall, to me, I like Breece Hall. I'm not surprised he looked good against the Bengals because everyone has looked good against Bengals. I actually think it's a great sell moment for Breece Hall. In a super flex league, I'm unlikely to risk a first-round pick on Breece Hall. I like Breece Hall, but before this week, people were talking about Breece Hall as in, like, oh, I don't know, is he going to be traded? What's going on? What's happening? He was injured in the last game. Running back value certainly wasn't worth a first at that stage. So I don't ever consider a running back as an asset. Maybe there's a couple. Bijan Robinson, I guess, is an asset. Ashton Genty is an asset. Jahmyr Gibbs is an asset, but that's about it. Other than that, you're thinking of running backs as production. And kind of what was talked about before, I'd rather just buy someone cheaper. I'd rather not spend. I'm not saying don't buy any running backs at all. I didn't say buying running backs is impossible. If you spend more time on the Patreon, you'll realize that that's not what I said. What is impossible typically is buying valuable producing running backs in season. You want to buy a running back, it usually has to be one that's not valuable, but producing, or not producing for whatever reason. Either they're hurt or having a slump or whatever. What you cannot do is buy producing valuable running backs in season at a good price. You could have bought Chase Brown, say, when he was not producing, maybe. Again, I'm not even saying I recommended to do that. I'm just saying you have to give up something. You're not going to be able to buy producing valuable running backs at a good cost. You can buy cheap running backs, or ones that aren't producing right now. Do you move Nico Collins down at all after seeing them look better without him, or does that not really matter, nor was it enough of a sample size? Well, I think it is time to move Nico Collins down. I'm not sure if it's because they look better without him, but we haven't seen Nico Collins be a lead in a while. I mean, ever since his injury in 2024, it's kind of been okay, but it's been like a mix of good and bad. I do think it's time to move him down a little. I already have moved him down this season, move him down maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I think I will be moving him down a little bit. What do you make of the BTJ trade discussions? Are you more optimistic or nervous about rest of the season outlook? Okay, first of all, I totally dismiss the trade idea. The idea that an organization, Liam Cohen said that it's all bullshit. I'm not trading BTJ. It's a total bullshit, total denial. We're not trading him right now. Total denial. He denied it. We're not planning to move him at all. At all is definitive. So he said it's all garbage. I don't buy it. You're going to trade a young alpha wide receiver on a rookie contract because why? Why would you do that? The only reason he would be traded is if he forced himself out. And I don't know. Maybe he is forcing himself out. I don't know about that. But why the Jaguars just trading him away? Not going to happen. We're not going to see young wide receivers on rookie contracts who have shown that they can be an alpha being traded unless they are forcing their way out and making such a temper tantrum that you just can't do it anymore. And I don't think that's the case. I could be wrong, though. I don't know BTJ. I don't know how he's feeling. So that is a possibility. But from the Jaguars' perspective, trading him makes no sense. None at all. They have him under 2 really cheap years and then a 5th-year option after that. So I don't see them trading him at all. He's not even eligible for an extension until after 2026. So they don't even have to commit to him money-wise, any more money until after 2026. So trading BTJ, don't buy that. As for the rest of his season outlook, I am nervous. I am nervous that this is not working. I am nervous this is not going to work. But BTJ was so elite as a rookie that it's going to be hard to just give up on someone who produced like that, because every player who's produced like that as a rookie is a multi-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer, multi-time wide receiver 1. So at the end of the day, like, even if it's like this the rest of the year, BTJ is still going to be definitely a top 20 dynasty wide receiver for me. Probably top 15. So that's kind of where I'm at on BTJ. Now, if you like the video, make sure to support the channel by subscribing, and don't forget to hit that new hype button to help the videos in the algorithm. Plus, hit that notifications bell so you can be notified about all my exciting content as it drops. Of course, if you want my best fantasy football advice, it's available on the Patreon. Dynasty fantasy football content year-round, starts at content in season. 50% discount at all tiers using code TylerYT50. Every sign-up helps support my independent content. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.